Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's residence and have perhaps taken him down. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was living in different places over the course of the last few days, and this was being done in order to ensure that he, of course, it's not easy to target him. And Susan, this would be a major victory if it has happened. This is what the Israelis are claiming. And in your assessment, is this one of those things that the Americans would probably use as a pretext for an off-ramp, as you mentioned that in that report by Axios, where Donald Trump perhaps indicated that there could be some diplomatic off-ramp? Is this what is now led with?
I'm speechless right now, Mohammed, because this is such a huge development, and perhaps it is an indication why President Trump was so comfortable as talking about perhaps diplomacy can have a chance right now. We know that the Americans and the Israelis were after Khamenei even during that 12-day war in June, and he was so beneath those bunkers that apparently they couldn't penetrate even if they did have an opportunity to attack him. I think one thing is very important to note is that Khamenei a few days ago had appointed Larijani, who is not a clergy, but he used to be head of the Supreme Council, as his successor. So whether or not, we don't know if Larijani is still alive, but he had already appointed him, should anything happen to him, as his successor. Now we have to wait from the Iranian side for them to confirm this and to see whether or not they have appointed a successor and whether that successor has been eliminated as well. So, who Trump thought that he could carry out further diplomacy with is yet to be seen. Is it going to be part of this regime's apparatus, or do they already know that there's going to be another government in place, and that's why the United States can reopen talks? But nonetheless, two Israeli networks are reporting that photo of Khamenei's body has been shown to President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and the images that we're watching are just very just celebratory from Tehran.
All right, interesting. Now, this is, of course, a report that's come in on AFP, which says the two Israeli television networks have reported that the photo of Khamenei's dead body is apparently being shown to Donald Trump and Netanyahu, and there are celebrations on the streets of Tehran. We, of course, need to wait and watch as to how the Iranians respond, because the Iranians had said that there is going to be a clear line of succession, and even if 87-year-old Khamenei is taken down, it is actually not going to do very much to the Iranian regime. Now, these are images that the Israelis had put out earlier, satellite images of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's residence that was bombed on the 28th of February. Now, there are a number of names that are floating around. Sadiq Larijani, possible successor to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Mohammad Mir Bagheri, Mohsen Iraqi, and Mujtaba Khamenei, the son of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who could also be a potential successor. But we do not know, as my colleague Susan Tehrani was speaking there, as to how many of these potential successors are even alive. Now, remember, these are big strikes that the Americans and the Israelis had carried out. The Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, a little while back, in his press briefing, had said that there are many signs which indicate that perhaps Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is not alive anymore. And now there are reports which state that a photograph of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's body has been shown to Donald Trump and Netanyahu. Is this a victory enough for the Americans and for the Israelis for having taken out a 87-year-old man? And will there be diplomacy from here on, is something that we need to wait and watch out for. But Susan, this is a pretty big development. At this moment, we've not heard anything from the Iranian side. This is what the Israelis are, of course, stating, where we heard from Netanyahu a little while back that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, it appears that there are many signs that he is no longer alive. And now there are reports that his photograph the photograph of his body has been shown to Netanyahu and also to Donald Trump. But what does this mean for the Iranian government as it exists? How badly is it damaged? Or will the Iranian regime, as it is called, just shrug this off and continue on without Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with a successor who could be found?
You know, it's hard because he was the supreme leader. He was the second face of the Iranian revolution. Since 1979, Iran has had two supreme leaders. It was Khamenei and then his successor Khamenei. And for 37 years, he's been reigning, and he has, you know, devout followers, but so much opposition within the Islamic Republic that, you know, even if he does find a successor, which, as I mentioned, his chief security chief, Ali Larijani, might be the one where he himself appointed it. Now, whether or not he's going to take this position or not, Larijani doesn't have that kind of force and that kind of valor that Khamenei himself had in the country. So it's hard to imagine how the government and the regime can coalesce around a new leader so quickly amidst war and try to patch everything together. And again, as you mentioned, as I mentioned, it's not clear whether or not those other individuals and other individuals in the security apparatus are still alive, because what we're hearing from the Americans and the Israelis is that they had a very small window where Khamenei was meeting with his top brass when they targeted him. So how many other individuals were there who have been killed? So really, this is an end of an era. It's a watershed in Iranian history. It is something that will change the dynamics of the Middle East region, for better or worse. We'll have to see, but the optimist in me will say for the better. And it's really going to determine which direction Iran goes into and who is going to be at the helm of the Islamic Republic. I think that's one of the main concerns for a lot of people, is what happens the day after the war. Now, there are reports that the Americans, the Israelis, and some opposition figures have already set that plan out, but it's hard to imagine that, you know, some kind of coalition isn't going to be built with outside forces. Now, are they going to be along with the people part of the regime, or is it just going to be a whole new apparatus? But this is one of the most significant developments that has happened in the Middle East in the past 30 to 40 years, and we really can't underestimate how important it is. And also, we've heard that Israel says the top IRGC commanders are killed. So when those IRGC commanders, along with Khamenei, are killed, again, who is going to be calling the shots right now? And can Larijani really do that?
I think those are some very crucial questions that you have raised. Can Ali Larijani do that? And is Larijani even alive? As you mentioned, Susan, that this is effectively an end of an era and a watershed moment, if it is indeed true. Because what we have are reports by the Israelis where they say that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is perhaps dead. And they also have a photograph that they've apparently shown to the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Donald Trump. Now, the question is this, for the Americans and for the Israelis, you know, what is the goalpost here where they see that there could be an end to this war? Now, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was an 87-year-old leader. He was, in many ways, symbolic and represented what the Iranian revolution that happened in 1979 was. And in his absence, how will things move from here? There could be a successor, but his potential line of successors could also have been killed in these Israeli and American attacks. And now we, of course, need to wait and watch out for as to what, of course, is happening. At this moment, Susan, what are you picking up at your end? Because there has to be an end game. And what is the American and Israeli end game here? Because they want a regime change, but taking out Ayatollah Ali Khamenei does not exactly end the regime, as the Americans call it.